and welcome back to Straight Talk. The latest mass shooting in Las Vegas has respawned a national debate on gun control. Because mass shooter Stephen Paddock used a bump stock to increase the rate of his ammunition fire, many are now calling for either more regulations or a total ban on such devices, including some in the GOP and, more surprisingly, the NRA. If organizations such as the NRA can change their tune, imagine if an actual Article 5 convention was in session at the time and the pressure that would be exerted on delegates to revisit and change the Second Amendment. But surely, Article 5 convention advocates wouldn't touch the Second Amendment, right? Well, writing for The New American in a recent online article, author Stephen Bias wrote, quote, "In a recent Facebook post on the Convention of States Project, a leading group pushing for a national convention to consider amendments to the Constitution, page, someone asked, why not include an update to the Second Amendment in COS? Gun control advocates wear out the point that it was written when people had only muskets, so why not make it read the way we want it to read now?" Bias continued, "The response of the Convention of States Project is troubling. It's called a clarification clause, Rick, and that's very much on the agenda of any number of the study groups that are currently being conducted around the country composed of COS project advocates and their state legislators. In other words, it is very much on the agenda of the COS to alter the wording of the Second Amendment in order to clarify its language for how they want it to read now. This is not to say that the leadership of COS desires to do away with the Second Amendment, but it certainly illustrates the dangers of the constitutional convention they favor." Bias is right. Although COS might not endorse a full repeal of the Second Amendment, the fact that they are willing to entertain the notion of clarifying or modernizing its language, even to the potential appeal of liberals or gun control advocates in blue states, highlights the need to safeguard against attempts by COS or others to call a convention. When asked about his thoughts on the prospect of another convention following the Philadelphia Convention, James Madison warned in a letter that it, quote, would be courted by the most violent partisans on both sides. With the demand of gun control as high and fierce as it is now, imagine how much worse it would be on the floor of a convention for proposing amendments. What kind of compromise could we expect between those wanting a curtailment or repeal of the Second Amendment and those solely there to balance the budget or impose term limits? What would some delegates be willing to give up in order to get their niche amendment passed? No. Now is not the time for a convention to propose amendments to the Constitution. What is needed now, more than ever, is a concerted effort to educate the people about the Constitution and its virtues. To stay up to date on this topic, head over to jbs.org and sign up for our news updates. Then click on the Choose Freedom Stop a Con action page to see what action you should take. So until next time, take care always, and God bless.